Now, before we go ahead and advertise, we need to set up our ad account. What I want to cover off in here is my recommended approach to setting up your business manager, your ad account, and your page to give you longevity with the survival of your business manager and your ad account because of policy challenges and just how I like to construct my ad accounts. So this is the basic structure of how your business manager will be set up. So you have one business manager, you have a page for your Facebook profile, a page for your Instagram profile, possibly either or as well, and then you'll have an ad account. So a page can exist without an ad account. An ad account cannot operate without a page. And then that ad account has a pixel. So this is the most basic structure that you'll have in place if you're advertising. Now, there's one problem with that. What happens if you lose your ad account? If you've only got one ad account and one pixel, you lose the data. This is so important because policy has to be front of mind. The ad account issues that can happen can impact anyone. So it's better to play safe. This, therefore, is my preferred setup. I set up two ad accounts. Ad account one contains the pixel. So a pixel cannot exist without an ad account. But what I do is with ad account one, which contains my pixel, that ad account is not the one that I'm using to run the bulk of my ads on. I set up a second ad account which has its own pixel, but that's not the pixel I'm using to collect all my data. I'm using the pixel from ad account one. So ad account one here is being created. There's a pixel. I share that pixel to ad account two and I install that pixel on my website. So that now means that if anything happens to my ad account and I start spending $100, $1,000, $10,000, $50,000, and for whatever reason, whether through my a fault of my own or not, if that ad account gets taken out, I still have access to my pixel and I can still create another ad account and share that pixel to that ad account. It's really important to get this part right because it's part of your core structure of setting up your accounts. It's harder to do this later on. So if you've already gone through the process of just setting up one ad account and that one ad account is running all of your ad spend and the pixels collected a lot of data, even at this stage I would consider creating a second ad account. In your case, you can actually create two ad accounts and have two pixels running on your website. So I often have this approach as well, where ad account one has its pixel, the pixel is installed on your website. Ad account two has its own pixel that's also installed, but you can share pixels across those ad accounts as well. So that's another option to think about. So that gives you security at the ad account level. The other level of security that I like to use as well is with my business manager. So this is a typical structure that we have in place. For example, right now, for SM Commerce, my agency, we have two business managers. Right now, you're allowed to create up to two business managers per profile. So we have a main business manager in place for the majority of our client accounts and a second business manager for any client accounts that are slightly more at risk. So I don't want to risk the majority of my clients with a business manager which may get taken down for any reason which is out of our control, but it's high risk. Same goes for our e-com and info products operation as well. So I have a business manager specifically for my training programs, my info products and things like that. Then I have a separate business manager for my e-commerce, for my affiliate marketing, and it just allows me to separate out the risk. So the structure is more about risk mitigation and risk management than anything else. So it's not really about performance and enhancements on things like that. I know many people like to, or some people like to run multiple ad accounts for countries, for currencies, languages, maybe even splitting top of funnel, bottom of funnel, and many other reasons in between as well. I don't really like to go down that route unless I really need to. So, I recall one business that I was working on. Actually, we were I think we were at scale spending 3-4 million a month on ads, and we had ad accounts set up by region because the team I was running was set up regionally. So we had an Americas team, Europe team, and a kind of Middle East and Far East team, and our ad accounts were set up specifically for those regions. So, for example, the ad account for the Americas would be primed on, let's say, Central US time, and that would allow us to run ad accounts just for that region. That team would be managing it, and the 24-hour cycle for the ad account would be primed on the Americas, had a separate ad account for Europe. The timings and pacing and everything was based on Europe, and then a separate one for kind of further east, Australia, Japan, and places like that. So that's one option. So, there are many ways you can split it, and far too many for us to go into any depth in this particular training. But I want you to understand that risk management is an important part of your account setup. So just think about what makes most sense for you, thinking about your ad accounts and building some kind of security in place, and then also the business manager, because if you lose an ad account, depending on the severity of the punishment from Facebook, you can create another ad account, and that gives you some flexibility. And as long as you've got the data from your pixel, it's installed on your site, and you can share that pixel to another ad account, you're good. If the ban is big enough, then your business manager can go down. And because of that, we like to mitigate that risk as well, and just manage our portfolio in a way that we can kind of mitigate that risk. There are many other ways of mitigating risk, especially in the affiliate world, which I'm not going to go into here because it's quite a deep and kind of grey hat world of managing your data and your assets. But this is the kind of basic setup that I like to deploy for my accounts. Going deeper, there are some specific advanced setups at the ad account level and kind of page configurations as well, which we'll go through. But right now, this is the kind of top line view for my accounts.